Hello, happy Wednesday. Welcome into Let's Bet It. Lauren Jabari here with Alex Glaze. Alex, happy hump day. How are you doing today?
Good. Missed out on my shrimp tacos yesterday. I gotta admit, I'm bummed out. I didn't
It's
follow
okay.
through on that.
I did get tacos in
There we
Oklahoma
go.
City, which I know they're known for barbecue, but you know what? It was Taco Tuesday, had to hit it up. I want to start the show off with two things. One thing, NFL changed their overtime rules for playoffs. Now both teams get possession of the ball at least once. How do you feel about it? I'm so excited about this.
I'm all in. I'm all in on it. I love the idea. I mean, listen, how can you not feel bad for a team? And it's only for the postseason. Only for the
Yeah,
postseason,
only postseason.
which is important to note because regular season, I get it. Don't you just want to move on? Don't want to risk injury. All that. Postseason, I want to see both teams get the ball. Yeah, that's what I want to see personally. Like, how can you not feel bad for like a team like that Bills Chiefs game?
Oh my God, that Bills Chiefs game was the rule. Like that's why they
That
changed
is that is why that's why this rule changed, and I think it's because everyone wanted to see Josh Allen get the ball one more time and
it.
just see what. I mean, who doesn't want more fun? I can tell you,
No,
Mark Zeno doesn't want more fun. So when you have him on later in the week, you can get him to talk about that.
no fun
But
zone.
yeah, well, I mean, that's his shtick, no fun. But I'm all in on it. I like it, especially because it's just playoffs. I wouldn't necessarily like it if it was, just a blanket rule change. But for the playoffs, definitely like it.
Speaking of fun zones, you entered the fun zone by buying Crocs. You have told me this morning, and so we need to just break this down for a second. You are
Mm-hmm.
now the proud owner of a purple pair of Crocs,
Well, hold on.
and
Yes,
I don't
yes.
know how I feel about this.
Hold on. Let me pull them up real quick here.
I don't know how I feel about this at all.
Okay. Hold on.
I'm
Well,
conflicted.
first of all, before I show the Crocs, let me just say that my cousin's daughter had a pair, and I liked the way that they looked. And I said, "Hey, Zoe, you mind if I get a pair?"
Said no one ever when they see
She was
Crocs and they're like, I love the way that those look.
no. Hold on. First of all, let's just check out the Crocs here. I mean, listen.
Okay.
We got the little like charms on them too to add a little personality, a little pop. I mean, we're just having fun here.
Wow.
They're
Wow.
really comfortable. I mean, what
Yeah.
would you rather me wear, like flip flops, like with the little like toe
Like the
thong
thong
thing?
between your toes? No, I don't
Yeah.
want that either. Wear slides.
Okay. So it's wear slides. See, I could get a pair of slides, but why? I want to be
See, I
fun.
could.
I want to be
Do
fun.
you wear the same size Crocs as your cousin's daughter?
No, she is two. So no, she does not have the same size foot as me. But hold on, we got a comment in the chat. Crocs are awesome. Crocs are awesome.
Guys.
Listen, I'm just saying, until you put them on your feet and you can feel just the comfort that you have, you get a little
Okay.
air
I guess
flow.
I won't knock it till I try it.
You got to try it. I'm telling you.
Okay. I'm going to buy a pair of Crocs this week, Alex, and we will report back early next week. They might be ending up in the dumpster or at Goodwill.
The thing is, you got to own it.
We'll
When you're wearing the Crocs, you got to know that people are looking at them because people are giving you.
Okay.
You got to own it.
I'm gonna buy a pair. It's happening. Okay, let's get into some sports. Talking today, NBA Morning Radar. We got 11 games on the slate tonight. We're going to break them down. Both of us have a pick for tonight. NHL Ice Picks, 6 games on the slate. Then we have MLB Futures because opening day is just around the corner. Howard Bender is going to be coming on breaking down some of the stuff that he's seeing so far during spring training. And then we can't end without our Pickswise 3-star play of the day and our best bets of the day. So let's get right into it. NBA, Alex, 11 games on the slate tonight. I know one of the games that you're looking at is the Knicks, who technically right now not mathematically eliminated from the playoff picture, but they almost are.
They are almost, but almost is all we need to have a little glimmer of hope here. And listen, when I'm looking at the NBA is so tough right now just because, some teams, are sitting guys for longer periods because they're already in, don't really care about seeding. Other teams playing for seeding. I mean, the East, you can't really take your foot off the gas at all because of how tight everything is over there. But yeah, I'm looking at the Knicks tonight, playing the Hornets, and I like the Knicks tonight. I wanted to take a look at the under, but that number, it was 226. That number is long gone now. I believe it's all the way down to 223 on FanDuel right now. So the 226 is long gone. But I'm looking at the Knicks. I liked it a little bit more at 3, but now at 2.5 on FanDuel here. And it's for the reasons you said. They're not mathematically eliminated, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're one of those teams that they don't let up. Very rarely do you see the Knicks just absolutely lay down, right?
Yeah.
I think that I'm going to rely on them being a great defensive team going up against a Hornets team that is not great defensively, and I think that this Knicks team can kind of rough up that Hornets offense that is used to playing kind of a free flowing, style of basketball. The Knicks aren't going to let that fly, which is why they just beat them the other day. I believe it was 120-106. Knicks have won 4 straight, not showing any signs of laying down. The one thing I will say, and the thing that's giving me pause about playing this game myself, is the Julius Randle situation. And it's funny because the prop I like in that game is Julius Randle over 10.5 rebounds. And I can get into that real quick before I finish my thought with the game. So I'm looking at Randle over 10.5 rebounds here. And the last time the Knicks played the Hornets when Randle wasn't active, Obi Toppin had 11 boards, right? In the games following that, the Hornets have allowed Rudy Gobert to grab 19 rebounds, Andre Drummond to grab 17 rebounds, and Nikola Jokic to have 19 rebounds. They're a very middle of the road rebounding team, but opponents have been able to absolutely feast on the boards. But again, I have paused with both of these bets because there's some rumors circulating. Maybe Julius Randle's checked out. Maybe he's going to ask out. I don't know what's going on there. So I like those plays on the surface, but I don't know. I might stay away. I don't know if I can talk myself into it because of the state of Julius Randle and how important he is to the Knicks.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you on that one. I was looking at one of the biggest games of the night. The Celtics are taking on the Heat in Boston, and this line opened up at 3, Celtics laying 3. It now moved to 5. So I was leaning towards the Celtics. If you got it at 3, I think that's a really good price. But the value for me at 5 is kind of dried up. So I'm like, I really want to bet this game. Let's try to find a little edge here. I like the under 214.5 at this game. So I'm looking at the total. Boston had a 6-game winning streak going. Then they lost to Toronto, but they didn't have 3 starters and 1 reserve. They were all injured. You look at both of these teams, Boston and the Heat, they're 2 of the top 5 defenses in the NBA. Boston is number 1 in defensive rating in the NBA. And Miami has been struggling offensively, not including their last game. But for the most part, they have been struggling offensively. They're on a tough road trip right now. They start at the Celtics, then they go to Chicago to take on the Bulls, and then they go to Toronto, take on the Raptors. The Heat have fallen to 17th in points per game in the NBA right now, and they've produced only 85 points in both of their losses this season to Boston. So last time I checked, that's not very good. The Celtics allow 1.5 points less at home than they do on the road, and both games against Miami so far have not reached 215 points this season. Now, the under is 30-26 in Boston games when they're favored. But you look at some of the teams that they played recently. They played Utah, Denver, Golden State, Dallas. They held them all to 104 points or less, and that's this month. So I think it just looks like it's going to be a low-scoring game. It's going to be hard-fought, a postseason type of vibe. But I really like the under 214.5 in this spot. So I locked it in a little bit earlier this morning. How does that sound, Al? I just called you Al.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. I gotta that's gonna give me a perfect segue here because we gotta talk something out real quick because I know we gotta keep the show moving. Al, AG. I don't know where these names came from. I don't know where they came from. I don't know.
I like AG.
AG kind of. So there's 2 other people that have called me that in like the past couple of years, and I was just like, whatever. I don't. Does it stick? I don't know if AG sticks.
It sticks. It sticks. We'll make it stick.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. We'll make it stick.
Yeah. The other thing I like when you're looking at that Celtics game, the Heat have just had a lot since that blow up on the sideline. Like,
yeah,
I think the Heat have just kind of fallen apart. Like they need to get it together. I'm not sure what's going on with the Heat. So good spot for the Celtics, I think.
Yeah, really good spot for the Celtics at home. The Celtics have been on a roll. Like they just have it figured out right now. So, I mean, I liked the Celtics laying 3. It's laying 5 is fine, but I feel more comfortable betting the under in this spot. Okay, let's move on to the NHL because Howard Bender is coming on soon. We have 6 games on the card. You're liking the Rangers taking on the Red Wings, right? You like total?
Okay, I'm going back to a total here after completely laying an egg yesterday. Just it's been a long time since I've had just an over day, and yesterday was an over day, so not a lot of fun. But you know what happens when I miss? I just keep going back to the well.
Yeah.
So I had to go with a total in the NHL today. And I'm looking at that Rangers Red Wings game over 6, still available on DraftKings. I believe it's 6.5 at FanDuel. So definitely shop around. And I'm looking at this from 2 ways. One, the Rangers are on a back-to-back here, and Red Wings going against the Red Wings team that allows 3.8 goals per game, which I believe is worst in the league. And these are just 2 teams that have consistently been playing to the over, with 3 of their last 4 games going over for both teams here. The Red Wings given up 11 goals in their last, or 11 goals, 18 goals in their last 3 games. One of those games they gave up 11 goals. And the Rangers have scored 13 in their last 3. And despite them being, a strong defensive team, they have given up 14 goals in their last 4 games. So everything is just telling me this one is going to fly over 6. I don't love it at 6.5, but 6, I'll definitely take a stab at that over.
I like it. I really do. The one thing that worries me a little bit is the Rangers and their goaltending, and Shesterkin. Like, he's been so solid between the pipes. He's just not letting up many goals. But I do think that they're going to have a good advantage over the Red Wings in the spot. They'll be able to find the back of the net against the Red Wings.
Mhm.
My game I'm looking at is the Blues taking on the Canucks. I like the Blues 3 money line at plus 145, and this is actually my best bet of the day. So I'm not really going to get into it right now because I want to talk to Howard Bender a little bit more about baseball. So I'm going to save my Blues 3 money line plus 145 pick for the end of the show when I talk about my best bet of the day. So let's get into MLB, because opening day is right around the corner. Okay. We want to have some MLB chat. So let's bring in Howard Bender from Fantasy Alarm and the host of the Annie Up podcast, because we haven't seen him in a little while. Howard, miss you. How the heck are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Lauren Jabara, AG in the house today. Look at that. I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
All right.
I think AG sticks, don't you think?
Is there a better suited nickname right there? Come on.
Come on. That's how I feel about it too. Howard, opening day is like a week away at this point. When you look at, favorite teams right now to win the World Series, you're looking at some futures. What are your 3 favorite teams at this point heading into the regular season that you like to win the World Series right now?
It's so hard to go against the Dodgers right now. I mean, just with what they're doing, the addition of Freddie Freeman, that pitching staff is just absolute money in the bank, right? I expect Walker Buehler to kind of take that next step forward that everybody's looking for. But yeah, I mean, they're the favorite. They're plus 475, 106 wins last year. I don't see the Giants really standing in their way in the division this season. So I think they've got the path. But the 2 teams that I really, really love, give me the Blue Jays at plus 900. I mean, that team's turning into an all-star team. The rumors of them actually trading for Jose Ramirez, I'm hearing they're more than just rumors. I'm hearing that actual conversations are taking place between the GMs, and that could be a move that we see later on during the season. So, this is the firepower there, the home ballpark, hitter friendly. It's just, there's a lot to love about this team. And then the third team I like, giving it up for the Chicago White Sox, right? They're plus 1,200. Let's sprinkle a little on the south side of Chicago there, because you've got, Lucas Giolito, who's got the potential to win the Cy Young this year. Lance Lynn is a seasoned veteran, and I love Dylan Cease. This kid has amazing strikeout potential. And then the offense, Eloy Jimenez, everybody forgets. Everybody's like focused on Eloy Jimenez being like a 240 hitter last year. I'm like, the dude tore his pectoral before the season started, was supposed to be out for the entire year, and came back a month and a half early, and then hit 12 bombs on the season. So White Sox plus 1,200. I like it.
I want to ask you about the Dodgers, though. Like, do you think that there is value there? And plus 500 at BetMGM. That's the best number you're going to get if you want to bet the Dodgers, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And you have to do it now. You have to do it now before games actually start playing, because once the Dodgers, because you look at the rest of the division, and you've got the Giants, who won 107 games last year. It's a geriatric ward. No offense, but it's a geriatric ward. And they lost Kevin Gossman, their top pitcher. So, I don't see them standing the way. The Rockies are atrocious. I mean, granted, they got Chris Bryant, but this team's just hot trash. And the Padres are still kind of struggling through, and the loss of Tatis is going to be a big deal. So once the Dodgers start motoring through that division, well, yeah, then that money's going down. That line's going down a little bit too much.
What about the defending champs at 13-1?
Yeah. Listen, you can go through that. I think the AL East got a lot better, and the NL East. I mean, I think that got a lot better. Those teams are going to beat each other up a lot during the regular season. The Braves, the Mets, the Phillies. I mean, what the Phillies have done, even the Marlins are going to end up being competitive this year. The only team in that division that's a total pushover are the Nationals. And then everybody else is just going to kind of pummel each other. They still have the imbalanced schedule this year, so these teams are going to face each other 17 times.
Yeah, I want to talk about the rookie of the year for a second, because I always love a rookie coming in, making an impact in the league. Right now, the current favorite for AL rookie of the year is Bobby Witt Jr. and NL is O'Neal Cruz. Would you pick these guys to win, or do you think there's value elsewhere? Because those guys are the favorites right now.
Rookies are the best, aren't they? They're like,
They're
you know
the
what
best.
rookies are? Like, you're a baby, and I'm shaking a thing of keys in front of you, and you're just like, right? I mean, who doesn't love betting on the rookies? Bobby Witt Jr., hands down, in that American League. I love him, right? I mean, there's not a lot of value in a plus 330. I mean, there is, but there isn't. To me, he's the odds-on favorite. Power, speed, great baseball instincts, great pedigree, the family. So I love Bobby Witt, to do that. In the NL, the favorite right now, my dark horse in the AL, I'll just say this. Everybody loves Spencer Torkelson. I'm looking at Riley Green, the outfielder of the Tigers. I had AJ Hinch on the Fantasy Alarm Show, and he started talking about this kid's instincts defensively. Like, he's not even worried about whether or not this kid's going to hit, because this kid's already hitting. But he's talking about his defensive, instincts and his acumen for baseball. And when a manager starts honing in on that, the kid's going to play. Even if he starts off the season in the minors for the first month or so, they're going to bring him up. He's going to force his way up, because the Tigers really just don't have a whole hell of a lot else. So Riley Green's a guy I'll sprinkle a little on over there. I'm channeling my inner Jared Smith, right? I'm sprinkling a little bit here and there. In the NL, the favorite Seiya Suzuki at plus 380. Hard to not go with a seasoned Japanese baseball veteran coming over there. Maybe the power doesn't really translate. But I think that this guy's got a 20-25 home run bat. He's got capability of stealing double-digit bases. Cubs aren't going to hold him back at all. So I kind of dig him a little bit. And then if you want a little bit of a value, Hunter Green, the pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds. The team's terrible. His wins total's not going to be there when he does, end up in the rotation. But this kid throws triple digits on the regular. And I mean, it is just, and it's got movement too. And that's what you want to see when you're throwing heat like that.
Howard, I want to ask you about the MVP race here. And if there is a guy you see that has won the MVP before, that you see any value in, because I'm looking at a guy like Freddie Freeman at 12-1, who's joining this Dodgers lineup. Can't pitch around him now. We know what he can do defensively. Any value there with Freddie or another former MVP winner?
Maybe a little. Are you a Dodger fan, AG?
No Dodgers.
It's my second Dodger question right now, and I'm expecting you to put on a hat.
I'm not a Dodgers fan. Just like playoff baseball fan. That's me. Playoff baseball.
Yeah, the problem is I look at a guy like Freeman, and he comes to a team like the Dodgers, and the Dodgers have all sorts of all-stars there, right? I mean, I think Freddie just does what he does, right? 30 home runs, hits 300 or close to it, and has a super productive kind of a time there. But when you've got a team that you're expected to see in the playoffs, that you're expected to win the division, and you're kind of a favorite, and you've got guys like Walker Buehler over there who, are absolutely spectacular, and they've got some, good solid position players around the diamond. I don't necessarily know if they hand it to Freddie for that. If you want to talk about a guy like to repeat, like Shohei Ohtani in the American League, I think that's kind of a no-brainer. Great two-way player. It's plus 380. That's not bad there. In the National League, Juan Soto is at plus 280. He's definitely deserving it, but the Nats are going to stink, so he won't make the playoffs. I don't mind Bryce Harper at plus 900. I like
Wow.
what the Phillies have done, and they've given him some good protection in that lineup by adding Schwarber and Castellanos. So he might be an interesting one there. And I'm a sucker for Chris Bryant at plus 4,500. They might not give it to him there because it's Colorado, and we expect that to kind of boost his overall numbers. But for plus 4,500, I'll throw a 20 spot on that.
Yeah, why not? What about Cy Young, Howard? Who do you like to win the Cy Young this year?
Well, I definitely like Lucas Giolito in the American League. I've been talking a lot with Jim Bowden about it. We've been breaking him down a lot on the show. He's plus 1,100, and I definitely think that he's ready to take that next step without a doubt. More eyes are on Dylan Cease. More eyes are on whether or not Lance Lynn is going to collapse. They're looking at that offense a little bit more. So I think Giolito can just kind of go in there and he can pitch. Justin Verlander on the comeback trail at plus 1,600 looks fantastic this spring. We know his age, but Tommy John surgery. Now you're taking like a 30-something-year-old player and you're putting a 22-year-old arm on him, and it kind of takes a different tone there. You want to sprinkle a little? Who wants to sprinkle in the AL?
Let's do it.
A little bit.
Just
Logan Gilbert plus 700. Love this kid.
Mm-hmm.
Great stuff. Great heat. Mound poise like you wouldn't believe. The Mariners are going to be a very, very big surprise team here. So I'll definitely do it that way. If you want a Dodger to win the Cy Young, though, AG, because you're a huge Dodger fan here.
He's a Dodger. He's all in on the Dodgers.
I see that. I definitely see that. So give it to Walker Buehler, right? Plus 900 to win the Cy Young. If he takes that next step forward, I definitely like him. I also like some value for Brandon Woodruff, as like the sidekick to Corbin Burns winning it last year. And then how about Sandy Alcantara? This guy in Miami. I mean, again, he won't get the wins totals, but we've seen them give the Cy Young Award, to guys who don't win a lot of games because of their team. Felix Hernandez did that, 10 years ago, something like that. So, Sandy Alcantara's got some great heat, good control. I look to him to take another step forward. He's plus 2,200.
I do like Walker Buehler. Not a Dodgers fan. Not a Dodgers fan.
You're Dodgers. It's okay, man. It's okay. Not everybody.
Alex, just give it to it. It's okay.
Fan like me.
We have a question in the chat for you. What team that had a losing record last year do you see having the best chance to win the division and possibly the World Series? Is there a team?
Is there a team that finished under 500 last year? I'm trying to remember some of like the borderline records there. I don't know. I mean, I could look at like a Seattle and see them as like being a kind of a sleeper team here because I think their pitching staff is incredibly underrated. I do like some of the moves that they've made to secure themselves offensively. They also have Julio Rodriguez waiting in the wings. They might be an interesting dark horse team. To win the World Series, though, I mean, it's even with the expanded playoffs, I'm settled in on the teams that I know have the firepower on the on the mound, and I know that they can hit the ball. So I try not to, like, if I'm betting futures and stuff, I'm not really looking for like too many long shot, dart throws there that may or may not turn it around.
The two that maybe stand out to me, like the Mets or Padres. I guess those are the teams that were kind of right on that line. That maybe, before
the Mets always just have that kind of bad.
Well, they're the Mets, right? They're still the Mets, right? They just have that. They have that stink to them until they can shake it off. Like they're still the Mets.
Yeah. Okay.
Do not tell Adam Ronis I said that.
We'll make sure to not let him know. Let's talk home runs for a second. Obviously, we all love a good HR home run. Is the beginning of the season, Howard, the best time to bet on a home run leader, or is there not really a good time to do that?
I don't really, the home run leader. I mean, I think because that could pop from anywhere. It really could. Like you could see a guy like Kyle Schwarber just coming out of nowhere and just bombing the ball. Chris Bryant over in Colorado, just teeing off like that. You could see a guy like Eloy Jimenez with a full year of health. So, I kind of stay away from the home run leader. I do like, some home run props. I'll sit there and I'll kind of scope those out. Like Kyle Schwarber, I said, the prop on him I saw it 30.5. I'm going to take the over on that, right? Citizens Bank Ballpark caters to the home run. It caters to the hits.
Yeah.
Having Nick Castellanos there as well as Bryce Harper, it's really going to solidify the middle of that lineup. So I could see like a little dark horse candidate coming out of there. So I could see Schwarber hitting more than 30 home runs. I also like to kind of, and this isn't to like, to poo-poo your rookies or your youngsters or anything like that, Lauren, but like everybody loves Wander Franco, right?
Yeah.
Kid's got great baseball instincts. He's a phenomenal player. I feel like he's a better player in reality than like if you were looking at him in fantasy. Like I don't see the counting stats really piling up. And I saw his home run prop at 21.5. And I know that all the Wander Franco truthers are like over. I'm going to take the under on that because I think he's more of like 15 to 20 home run power. I kind of liken him a little bit to what Derek Jeter was during his time. It was like Jeter's baseball acumen and his instincts and his just, the intangibles that he brought to the table were phenomenal, but he wasn't a power hitter. He was a really good batting average guy. He was good for runs scored, but, he wasn't really like that dominant guy like his contemporaries like A-Rod, Nomar, Miguel Tejada. So I kind of see Wander Franco cutting that same cloth for the Rays. It's also not a great ballpark, a home ballpark to call for power. So, I like the under on 21.5 there for Wander.
Howard, we so appreciate you taking the time to come on. I'm sure we're going to be talking to you a lot towards the beginning of the season and throughout the MLB season. So thank you so much for coming on. I missed you. It was good to see you.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I missed you guys too. And AG, I'm telling you, man, I love it. I absolutely love it. Stick with Lauren. She's got you on the nickname.
I try to stick with Lauren. I try.
I got you. Howard Bender from Fantasy Alarm and the host of the Andy Up podcast. Howard, have a great day.
Thank you. You too, guys.
All right, AG, let's get into our Pickswise.com 3-star play of the days from the website.
All right, we're going to make this.
AG, who we got?
We're going to make it a pick. Yeah, I'm looking at the site right now. We have a couple of 3-star plays right now. Yeah. Let's go with our friend Tyler Mortimer, who's got the Sharks on the puck line tonight as a 3-star play. But that's just one of 5 plays that are up on the site right now. So head over to Pickswise.com and check out some more of those 3-star plays for the weekend.
Listen to my man AG.
The weekend. Hold on, the weekend. It's Wednesday for tonight.
Yeah. Come on, it's Wednesday. It's almost the weekend. We're almost there, but not quite. Okay, your best bet of the day. You're looking back at that Rangers Red Wings game.
Yeah, I'm sticking on the ice at under in the Rangers Red Wings game. Red Wings allowing 3.8 goals per game. Really not great defensively. These are two teams that have been playing to the over lately, both hitting the over in 3 of their last 4 games. And this is a Rangers team that scored 13 goals in their last 3 games. And despite being known for their strong defense, they've also given up 14 goals in their last 4 games. So I'm liking this game to go over 6 goals tonight.
Yeah, I like it. I'm actually might tell you on this one. I'm looking at the Blues Canucks game. And for me, when I'm looking at hockey, I always look at all of the different sports books and kind of where I can get the best value for some of these games. Because a lot of them are like really good teams playing really bad teams. And there's not as much value. So I try to look for 2 teams that are kind of similar. So I find good value in it. So when I looked at the Blues Canucks, obviously it's kind of a pick'em game right now, but I like the Blues 3-way money line at plus 145. They're playing for the second time in 3 days. The Canucks have only won 4 of their last 10 games, 3 points behind Vegas for the last wild card spot at this point. So they're really going to want to win this game, but the Blues were embarrassed at home on Saturday against the Canes 7-2, but they won against the Canucks in their last meeting a couple days ago. That was a couple days after their loss to the Canes 4-1. This game for the Blues is a must win. They really need to win this game. They want to stay in the playoff race. They were up there earlier in the season. They've kind of dropped down a little bit. So they're kind of on the cusp at this point. You look at them offensively, they're averaging 3.51 goals per game, but the effort for me hasn't necessarily been there on the back checking. The defense is decent. They're allowing 2.85 goals per game. And Ville Husso has been great between the pipes. He has a .924 save percentage, 2.38 goals against average. Now, the Canucks offense is what has slowed them down this season. They're only averaging 2.79 goals per game. They've scored only 7 goals in their last 3 games. The defense is about the same as the Blues, 2.82 goals per game. But I think the Blues are going to want to right the ship on away ice in Vancouver. They're going to come out strong. Villahuso is going to be able to save a lot of pucks, protect the net between. What do you say?
Villa who? So
so we're going with the Blues 3-8 money line at plus 145 tonight for my best bet of the day.
Love it.
Love to see it. All right. That's it for us today. We have a lot more coming at you tomorrow. So find us on the Pickswise YouTube channel. Go to Pickswise.com. Follow us on Twitter. Alex Glaze. I'm Lauren Jabara. Best of luck tonight, you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Let's get it. Let's bet it.